Now, method one, which we just talked about, is the more accurate way to track your calories and to determine how many you actually need to maintain your current physique and to find that starting point. However, not everybody necessarily needs to be quite as accurate, and not everybody necessarily wants to put in that kind of time and effort because I'll tell you, method one, the actual physical keeping track of your calories, can be a little tiresome for many people. That's why I'll share with you method two, which is a simple calculation that you can do to determine how many calories you need in a day. So let's dive in and take a look at the calculation method. I'm going to use myself as an example. Now, the first step in the calculation is you need to know how much you weigh in pounds. Now, you're going to take that number and you're going to multiply it by 10. Now, I weigh 160 pounds, so multiplying by 10 would give me 1,600. Now, this number is the amount of calories that your body requires just to live, just to survive, and to function properly on any given day. That's the first step in the calculation. Now, in this next step, we need to determine your activity level. Now, this includes weightlifting and exercise in the gym, on the field, etc., as well as our activity level at work, at home, when we're not working out at all, the non-exercise activities that we do in any given day. Now, the scale that we use will go from 1.1 to 2.2. And we're going to look at why that is right here on the board. First, we need to determine our life activity, our everyday life at work, at home, the non-exercise things that we do that require energy. Secondly, we need to look at our training in the gym, on the field, whatever, and that includes both the frequency and the intensity of those workouts, those exercises. Now, the scale goes from 1.1 to 2.2. And what this means is if you live a completely sedentary life, let's say that you never leave the house, you sit on the couch or you're in bed all day long every day, and you do absolutely zero exercise, then most likely you're not expending very many calories. So you would be closer to the 1.1 on the scale. Now, on the other hand, if you're moderately active, maybe you don't move a ton at work, but you still get up and move around a little bit. Maybe you exercise somewhat infrequently, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe you give yourself a 1.2, 1.3, maybe 1.4 on that scale. Now, for someone who's more active, who maybe has a job that requires them to move and to lift things and to be active, as well as training 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week, you would be closer to the 1.5, 1.6, maybe 1.7 portion of the scale. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have the very active person who is not only active throughout the day, moving all the time, but also train maybe 4, 5, 6 times a week. And these trainings are maybe moderately to severely intense in their effort. You would be closer to the 2, 2.1, 2.2 side of the scale. So you need to determine where you fall on that scale in your lifestyle. Once you've determined your number, you're now going to take that number and multiply it by the number that you found from part 1 of this equation. For me, that was 1,600. Now, the number I gave myself was 2. So whereas if I use solely the calculation to determine how many calories I need, it gives me 3,200 calories. But if I track my calories to find out what I actually need, I'm usually around 2,900. So there's a few hundred calories there, give and take, that are a little bit different. So there you go, guys. 2 different methods that you can use to determine how many calories you need on any given day to maintain your current physique. Now, you can use this as a springboard and as a reference point to now start making some changes and to reach those goals. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button down below, hit like, share with your friends, comment below and let me know which of the 2 methods you've used or prefer. Do you use a completely different method that I didn't even mention?